Hi,
Hi.
we're live. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to my series, Filipino Hustle Fridays, hosted by Julia Holly, owner of JH Creative. Thank you, Lalaine, for hopping on my humble show. And for those of you who have not heard or seen anything about Lalaine, she's the owner of Kawaling Pinoy, a international blog, pretty
Yeah.
much that she has grown a huge following on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and you also have channels on Pinterest, and you have a highly visited website, Kawaling Pinoy. So thank you so much, Elaine, for hopping on my humble channel, and I'm really excited to talk about your story.
Hi, Julie.
Yeah. So,
So
um,
I think the sound is. I
oh,
think the sound is not catching up. Okay, I think it's clear. We were doing.
okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Testing.
Uh, it's echoing. We're not in sync.
Oh. Yeah, there's going to probably be a slight delay if there is, but I'm not echoing on my end for some reason. Let me see. Um, it could be, do you have any other channels open?
Uh, yeah, probably that. Oh, okay. I had the. I had the YouTube or your. Okay, I guess it was playing there. That's what I was hearing. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. This is my first time, so be patient with me, please.
Oh yeah, no worries. There's been all kinds of bloopers in my other shows, so like I said, it's very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to be comfortable. So no echo anymore, right? We're
No,
good?
no, no, no. Very clear.
Yeah.
Very
And
clear.
you know what's funny? Like I listen to all these professional podcasts, and once in a while they have their own glitches too. So I'm like, I think we're good. So yeah, for like I said, Lillian, thank you so much for hopping on, and I'm really excited about featuring your story. So it sounded like you launched in 2013.
Yes.
Did you? Yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you started.
Well, actually, I started in 2007. That's where I
Oh,
had my first blog. I mean, I was following this food blogger. So I thought, okay, I'll start mine also. So it was just like I'll post recipes. I didn't know what I was doing, and nobody read it. So in 2000, after 2 years, I was blogging. We were just like a handful. I think like the pioneer woman, Reed Drummond, I think started around that time, sending
yeah.
me recipes just a few years back. So, I mean, it was just a different kind of um, how would say the group is kind of like very different from then and now. So I started in 2007, and then around 2009, I went to Magic Mountain. So I was using my DSL camera, and then it got wet there when I made a splash. So I said, "Oh, nobody's watching. I didn't buy any." So the domain expired, and I lost the website. So that was like around 2009. So in 2013, I said, "You know what? I want to blog again and do it. Like really be focused and see where it takes me." So 10 years after, I'm doing it full time, and you know so
Wow.
that was when I started 2007, and then started back again in 2013. I worked as a dietary manager for a hospital. So I managed the daily operations in the kitchen, diets, and ordering food, training staff. So I've always loved cooking. In the evening, I would cook and post the recipes blog, and then you know 100 people became 1,000, 1,000 became 10,000, and then after 3 years, the income of the blog kind of like replaced my, I was making the same from my blog from how much I was making at my regular job. So I thought, you know what, I really want to do this and focus, and so I took the leap of faith. And
Wow.
so
That's
that was
awesome.
short
You
story
started
of
at like that's you started like pretty much at the golden era of blogging. Like from what I understand, if you started at a good time, maybe 10, 15 years ago, when these platforms were early stages, it's almost
Mhm.
like you benefited with their growth. And so did you start first with it sounded like a regular blog, but then did you start with any of the social media platforms first? Which one did you
No,
start
no,
with?
no. I started blogging right away.
Okay.
Actually, because of the 2007 when I started, I kind of like had an idea what I wanted to do. That I wanted to, in 2007 it was like a hobby, but in 2013 when I went back again, I knew I wanted to grow it and maybe hoping that it could be, you know, take over, a business or something. So I went in the second time around with that kind of mindset. I had a theme made, customized for me since I wasn't technically savvy. So as I said, I went in like with a business kind of a mindset. Oh, I want to do this. I'm gonna work on it and see what happens. So I started. Basically, it was still a hobby, but with a different hope or dream or something like, you know,
Yeah.
different
So
goal
you
already.
That's great. So you invested in like everything. It sounds like the branding and you had people like you contracted out. Like I know it sounded like you also did a
Well,
lot of
um,
content.
it's a, it's not, blogging actually is it's a very minimal investment type of business. Well, if you have your laptop, and some people start with their cell phones now to take the pictures. But when I started, basically, I probably spent like for hosting like $200 to host it for a year with I think it was Bluehost at that time. And then I bought a theme, like the a framework of the website had that customized, so maybe $1,000, and the camera and the phone. So I started maybe around, uh, I guess around 2000, if I since I bought all the camera and stuff like that. But you don't have to. So a lot of people start with their iPhones and stuff. So and I've seen people become successful using their phone and using free platforms like Blogger and WordPress and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
being part of a free section of WordPress.
that's awesome. So you're pretty much it sounds like you're self-taught. Did you already have these technical skills
No,
before?
no, up to now I don't know that, but um, I would, everything is available online on Google. A lot of people are helpful. We have a lot of groups where you can ask questions. And then, of course, when I started making a little bit of money out of the blog, I'm able to get some support from, like my hosting. I can get support from there. Some people who provide technical support. So there are a lot of resources available online to help. So
That's wonderful. So now pretty much you do this full time, right? You
yes, in
maintain and manage
2016,
everything.
I've been, I quit my job in 2016. And I need to share this because I thought, like I actually had a live show. Like I was telling you before we got on. I've been doing live shows on my Facebook page. So I said there how blogging has changed my life in a lot of ways. It has given me a lot of freedom. Oh, that's me. You see
Yeah,
how
yeah,
I
I
was
see.
sitting on the back because I set up my phone like vertically, so that's why. So it has changed my life. It has given me freedom. Actually, on the day that I quit my job, because I was the dietary manager, so I was handling like overtime. I was responsible for overtime hours, my budget for the department and stuff. So I've been thinking, considering quitting, but I was afraid, like, oh, how about if next month I won't make money? And you want a steady income, correct? Like I was nervous. But that time during the department head meeting, my boss said, come to the office in like an hour or something. So I knew there was an issue in my department about overtime or something. I had to. So I said, you know what? I can't handle this anymore. So I went to my office, typed up a resignation letter. That just told me, you know what? I need to leave and work for myself. So I went
Yeah.
to the office and I said, you know what? I'm quit. So it was just a relief, not to answer to anyone and just be in charge of my future. I think that was my driving force for me. I was unhappy already at work, and so that was the gift
Yeah.
that blogging gave me to work for myself and
You took
be.
the leap.
Yes. So she kind of like pushed me, gave me a nudge a little bit because I was
Yeah.
afraid, but that was the little nudge. I was gonna get, uh, I guess, a write up or something for my overtime for my department. So kind of like that was the nudge to just take that leap.
And I'm glad you did because I feel like, and it's most, I could speak for myself, but even Filipinos in general are
Hmm.
afraid. There's a lot of fears. We probably have inherently a lot of fears, but it's really exciting to see how more and more Filipinos are getting featured on the mainstream.
Yes.
Social media is very impactful in our community. And then you got ones like Joe Coy,
Oh, I love
making it on
her.
Netflix.
Yeah.
And okay, speaking of which, because you were in California, you moved from the
Yes.
Philippines, moved to Orange County in Southern California,
Yes.
and so Joe Coy also being from LA, like it must have been really hard to live and survive there. Like how was that transition for you? And now you're in Texas, obviously, but what was it like for you when you moved from the Philippines to California?
I came when I was very young, like 20, 20 years old. You know how in the Philippines, we have people who help us cook so when I came here, I'm on my, I have to cook and I have to do the laundry and stuff. But you can kind of like, but I was excited. When you're very young, you adapt easily. You're excited. You're looking forward to a lot of adventures. So having to cook for yourself or do your own dishwashing. I mean, it doesn't mean as much as how would I say this? The adventure is more important than the hardship, But I think if I came here, my age now, there would be a lot more getting accustomed to the, I would have to adjust more, I guess. But because I came young and I was excited about the future, the new place, I mean, it was, how it
Yeah,
was,
you had energy.
yeah. So the reason why we moved to, and again, that's another benefit of blogging and working online. I was able, we visited Texas for a conference. We had a, like food blogger conference in Austin. So we came here March. In December, we already moved here, found an apartment and just moved here. And then 2 years after, we bought our house here. So we love the place, but blogging and working online enabled us to just jump and say, hey, you know what? We want to move and try Texas. So that's another freedom that blogging gave me, working online and having our own business. You can kind of like move anywhere and find your place in this world, I guess.
I
So
love that.
I think one of the reasons we moved here because of no tax, like no state tax.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cost of living.
Yeah, just moving here gave us like a 30% increase without actually increasing our income because of the no state tax and stuff like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
And also just more space. Everything's bigger.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is bigger in Texas. That's so true. But it gets hot here. Like now it's September and we still like 100 degrees outside still. So
Yeah. Come visit in Florida. It's a little bit, humid, a little more like Philippines, and you get the beach.
yeah, but the hurricane, I think. So yeah, oh, it's scary everywhere. I guess there's
I
always something to
know.
deal with.
Yeah, I know. I mean, your numbers, like I'm looking at the
Mm.
stats there, it's really, really impressive. To make it to the 3.5 million mark, in Facebook, and then over 100,000 subscribers in YouTube. Like that's a feat in itself.
Mhm.
And then of course Instagram too, 36,000 followers.
Mhm.
And so what have you, like, from 0 to 1,000 to 100,000 then to 1 million? Like, what was that like for you at those milestones? And where did you find a huge jump? When did it exponentially just like blow up for
Yeah.
you?
Um, when I think part of how the website grew. In the beginning, I'm gonna talk more about my website first, before the social media part of it. So I think a part of my growth before, I was just enjoying the process. I was just like being me, I guess, like goofy, kind of like on my website. I would talk about my divorce. I would talk about, like how I developed the recipe, because so I would talk about my life. It was more of like kind of like a journal before. I would and like like I would talk about my childhood. I would talk about the ex-husband. Yeah, I would talk about work and stuff. So it was like a kind of like a journal with recipes attached to it. So my mom, I'll talk about my mom, my daughter, and stuff. So I think my readers kind of like connected to the personal stories, because anyway, my thing then before, you can find recipes anywhere, but the personal stories, that's where oh, I'll go here. You know what I mean? Like when I'm reading, I connect more with the person than the recipes. So that's how my blog started in the beginning. So, because the reason why I said that, a lot of the my number one recipe was a leche flan before. That's where all my traffic was coming in before, and that was the story. If you go through it on my website, you'll see that I talked about like finding myself again after separating and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people were relating to that, and I guess Google sees when people come and visit and they stay longer. I guess that's a signal to Google, hey, you know what, people are finding this interesting. But I don't think it's the recipes, the story behind it, that was helping the viewer to stay longer. So over the years, like the blog was not making money, but I would do like a lot of sponsored posts and stuff like that, where so that kind of like augmented the ad income. So I think we're um, it was in 2016, I think, when I went full time, that I saw like a really remarkable jump in income, in traffic, because I was able to be 100%. Because before I would go to work, go home, and then stay up until 6 o'clock just writing and stuff, and then weekends just cook like 10 recipes, and so I'll have content for the whole week. So it was kind of very stressful, took a lot of work. But in 2016, I was doing it full time and stuff. And then when the blog started making money, I was able to outsource stuff that I didn't know how to do. Like I don't know how to shoot videos, so I have somebody shoot them for me in the Philippines, because I reinvested some of the revenue to grow my business. So I have someone doing my videos in the Philippines. I'll test the recipe, send it to her. She'll shoot it for me, and then I'll review it. Now I don't shoot pictures here on my house. I have that all outsourced in the Philippines, because in Texas I cannot. There's not a lot of food. Like not like in California, where all the ingredients you can, right? They have Seafood City there and stuff. So
Yeah,
we don't have like I
same
haven't
here.
seen milkfish bangos for a long time here. I haven't eaten it because I cannot find it here. Seriously.
Yeah.
So
So you definitely, there's things to miss for sure. You can always just go for vacation in California.
So, at first, how like this is my baby, this like my baby, and I don't want anybody touching it. I wanted to do everything, but I think I was doing myself a disservice by not looking for help.
Right.
Because we cannot be a one woman show. We don't know everything. So
Yeah.
Finding the right people, finding the right team kind of like helped me grow a lot more. So,
Yeah, that's wonderful. And we actually have some watching from the Philippines right now. And thank you so much from the Avenito blog,
mhm.
watching from the Philippines, and then also Camarines Norte. Julie, shout out to Julie. I
Oh,
showed their comments early. You know some of them probably.
yes,
Uh,
yes. They watch
yeah.
my live shows also. They're my followers on. Yes,
Loyal fans. Yeah, and that's really impressive. I would have thought you did it all, and I'm glad you outsourced because that's really the way to grow a business.
yes,
Because you gotta buy back your time. I'm just gonna go
yes.
ahead and quote an author, but it really, and so well, that's neat too that they actually do it there. They have the ingredients. They actually just record themselves making it. You
No,
you
no. Because the videos are the style hands and pants. Just your hands,
okay?
not like like a
Yeah,
regular where we face to face. No, they're just so they the videos you can actually see the person. It's just hands.
right.
So that's they follow my recipe. I test the recipe, send it over, and then we'll discuss this, or this is how I want it to look. This is, and then they'll send it back to me. And then I'll review it. The person who does it for me, we've been working together since 2018.
Wow.
5 years. She kind of like know what I want already and stuff like that. So you know.
So for someone who's looking, because I know
Mhm,
actually this, I talk about it a lot where
mhm,
someone wants to hire a
mhm,
Filipino,
mhm,
based
mhm.
virtual assistant, videographer, that kind of thing. Like how did you find through personal connections or did you find through a network?
No, I actually found it through a food blogger also, my a food blogger friend that I have. She's a food blogger. The person who's gonna be doing her sister. So she said, "Oh, my sister is coming home from Dubai and they're gonna stay in the Philippines for good." So I said, "Oh, maybe she'll." Yeah, she said, "I'll train her to do it." So that's how it started. So when we
That's
started
great.
our videos, you'll see that she just used a cell phone to shoot all my videos before. So over time, we're now she's learned a lot. Before they were very basic because she was learning along with me. So now we're redoing a lot of the videos to kind of like improve them and stuff. So yeah, you could see the improvement from her skills from the time we started to now also. So we're growing together. I was growing.
That's wonderful. And then do you manage now, because I know you mentioned you have a lot of traffic
Yeah.
and we had discussed like, there's a way to monetize the visitors,
Yeah.
through the website or through the channels. Like, what have you found to be the most, I guess, just beneficial for you as a model to keep it sustainable?
Well, you mean like the revenue model? Is that
Yeah.
so? When I first started, before you qualify for ad network, you're supposed to reach a certain amount of page views. So I was at Google AdSense. I was doing Google AdSense. But there are a lot of tricks on doing that. You have to waterfall and stuff like that, which is way too complicated for me. So when I reach a certain number of page views, I joined She Media, and then I joined certain other networks. So I think at that time, you needed like 100,000 to qualify for 100,000 page views to qualify for Raptive. We Cafe Media. It used to be Ad Tribe. They changed their name to Raptive now. So I think I was like at 1 million when I joined them, like quite a few years back, maybe like 5 years already that I've been with them, or more, maybe two. Yeah, 2017, 16, I think, when I joined them. So they manage all the ads on
Oh,
the
that's great.
site. So they get a certain percentage from the revenue, and but takes the stress out of me. I get a lot of support from them, and you know, so
That's
things that I don't have
wonderful.
to worry about. So, and another business, another revenue source other than the actual visits on the blog, we get paid. Like I was explaining, like a RPM, like a revenue per mil. So like every 1,000, you get a certain amount, or like maybe
Hmm.
$10, $15. That's my average for my site. but it varies depending on the traffic that you get, where they're coming from. I get a high percentage of traffic from the Philippines, so that would probably a little less than when if it's US traffic. So the average for the site is a little lower than my other website, which is an American traffic website, which gets
Yeah.
a higher RPM.
Okay.
Another revenue source would be, like I monetize my videos on Facebook. They have reels and in-stream ads.
Yeah.
So that's another revenue source for me, through Facebook. And then of course I have my YouTube channel. I don't get a lot of views on YouTube. So those are a lot of the things that bloggers monetize. I guess social media also, like Instagram, but I'm not very active on Instagram. I just post a real like kind of like an automatic resharing or reposting. What else are the ways? Like when I was first starting, I used to do a lot of sponsored posts where like a brand, like I think I did one with Goldilocks before and stuff like that. So they'll approach you, you promote, write an article, and then they pay you a certain amount or something. But I've stopped doing that now. So those are the different revenue avenues you can monetize a blog: social media and the actual traffic to your blog. I guess the
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh no, sorry. I know it's tricky with lives. Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's great that you invested time in social media because it helps with the website traffic because
Yes.
some, newer audiences come from social media, especially the
Mhm.
younger generation. So it's great because a lot of bloggers might have stopped at blogging or they just only focus on the website and maybe just a few channels here and there. But it's smarter that you've invested time in building the presence there. And it's yeah, in time, like there's other ways to monetize social media, but I know it's a little tricky. So it's great.
Yeah, the fact, I think, so like Facebook monetizing the videos, it became like a double purpose for me because it drives traffic to my website, and at the same time I'm able to monetize on the actual on the platform itself. So that kind of like I make money from people who go to my website through the videos, and the actual videos are monetized on Facebook. So that was like a double benefit, I think. um the landscape has kind of changed over the years. Like I've said, I've been trying to challenge myself. I've been doing live because I think that's what's popular now on the channel. I do a lot of short reels now because kind of like a TikTok type videos there. So yeah, I guess you need to adapt with the times, move with the times. So I
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen, I know there's like a lot of recipes being shared on TikTok, but I mean,
Mhm,
who's gonna follow a recipe on TikTok? Yeah, I mean, my daughter, she'll
mhm,
like look at it and then she'll pause it, I guess, and then that's how she's learning how to cook.
mhm,
And I
uh-huh,
said, I'm not patient enough to mess with that. I'm more traditional. I want to print a recipe out, or I want a bigger either device or a printout, to follow a recipe. I mean, sometimes I'll use my phone
mhm,
too, but from a website, just
mhm.
'cause it's just more practical for me.
I guess
But yeah.
there's a lot of ways that are that people digest information now. Some people get bored with long form videos like on YouTube and stuff. They'll complain, oh, too much talking, too much, etc. And some people will say, oh, your video is too fast. You're too. So I guess there's different preferences or ways that people want to digest the information. So yeah, so I'll get people who say, "Oh, your videos are too short," and then there's some, "Oh, you talk too much. I want it short and stuff." So I guess we give
You
a
can ignore those people. Just kidding. No, but yeah, no, there's some people who want it fast paced, there's some people who want it slow,
Mhm.
and it's just you have to find a balance. But it's cool that I like how you're also trying out shorts. I want to try to, um, you know, dedicate some time to that too. But so, do you have a small team, or is it just you and your, I guess you could say your video assistant or support person
Um,
in cooking?
other than the videos and stuff, all the managing of my social media and my blog, I do that myself. I don't let anyone touch it. I think it's the kind of like a paranoid me. I don't want people like maybe accidentally deleting something. If I delete something, then it's all on me. You know what I mean? So I get nervous
Yeah.
that way. But in terms of like doing the videos and stuff like that, I do, like the photos, and then I'll work on them, write the recipe, and do the posts on my blog and stuff. So
Hi, Laura. Thanks
that's my
for
daughters.
all this. This is great. Yeah, no, this is awesome. And it looks great. You do so much on your own too. And so, because it's a lot to manage, and now you have that time, you have the flexibility, you have the freedom. Do
Mhm.
you have any advice? There's a couple things that I would ask, like, have you joined some, not only like blogger groups, but have you also looked at, how to optimize your YouTube channel? Because hitting 100,000 is a huge accomplishment. So I can see you monetizing even more on YouTube alone.
Mhm.
And so what have you considered, with those things, and have you, invested in groups to help you with that support? That
With
kind of,
YouTube,
yeah.
really, to be honest, I haven't focused on YouTube at all. It was the thing is, um, I've been doing YouTube because primarily to for CEO purposes,
Right.
so that's why I've been posting my videos. But in terms of monetization and actually growing it, I haven't focused on it as much. I'm actually lost. I think most of my videos average like 500 views for like months and months. So I've been having a hard time, I can't seem to grow it the way that I want, but I haven't given it as much energy as I have, since I think it's a question. It's a matter of being stretched too thin because
Right.
I focus on Facebook. That's where all my energy is at, and I haven't really worked on the YouTube. I should, but
That's amazing. Like, I'm only saying amazing because that means you didn't need, you, it's not like you tried to optimize it from the ground up. It just kind of grew on its own. So that means even if you had maybe someone to help you, even, just add more. I mean, I'm looking at it too, just evaluating,
mm,
just looking, I might as well just, so it's really cool. You have your recipe there, you have some hashtags, and there are really good, like I was telling my friend who also has a decent following on YouTube, if I were her, I would definitely like get with some YouTube experts, like how they
okay.
monetize. And
For telling me that for that tip, I didn't know that there are actually people or group of people who actually help you grow your YouTube. So I probably have
yeah,
to research. Oh, okay.
yeah,
If you know anyone, let me know, please.
oh, absolutely. I mean, the number one person I think of is Think Media and Sean Kennel. You've probably seen some of his YouTube um, content. But one of the things I learned
Mhm,
running my business now for 10 years is that there's like all these really great community groups, or
mhm,
you can call them cohorts.
mhm,
So now that I've learned, as far as mentoring and peer-to-peer groups, like if you invest in a community that is in a similar space as
mhm.
you, you're going to learn so much
Yeah.
from that group, and then you'll get like great advice versus like hiring a general business consultant who doesn't understand
Mhm.
this space. So
Okay.
like anyone who understands online business, e-commerce, growing your YouTube channel, like I would invest time and money into that kind of cohort program. And so, yeah, I believe, yeah, Sean Kennel with Think Media is someone I would definitely try to join, like maybe at a base level, and then see. And they chances are they know somebody who will help you do it. Like
Okay.
if you don't want to use the time, just like,
Yeah.
and you have the revenue to invest towards that, then because I'm depending on your audience and depending on what you want to sell through your channel. I know a friend who's making, you can make 10,000 a month like almost 6 figures a month with
Oh,
YouTube alone. It's just, that's how crazy it is.
yeah. I mean, I follow a lot of like people who started on YouTube, and then they'll share like the new house that they're building right now and stuff like that. So yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of opportunity, and a lot. I mean,
I mean, even do you have an email list too?
yes, I do.
So how many followers on your email?
I think like around 28,000.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm basing it from, I guess maybe how would I say this? I'm too hard on myself. I see the number and I'm like, oh, it's not growing. I guess we always want more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I see it and I'm thinking, oh my God, 28,000. I've been blogging 10 years and it's only 28,000. It's like looking at the glass half empty, I guess. So I should change my
That's
look
still
and
really
think and be more
good.
appreciative of the blessings.
No, that's great. No, the reason why I say that is because email is one of those cost-effective ways to also
Yes, to
market
reach
products.
audience.
Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're pretty much operating like a modern media company
Yeah.
for the Filipinos, for international. You got a global audience, and you got the Filipino Americans that want to learn how to cook Filipino food.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a great market to market to. So I could see people wanting to monetize through your email list too.
They actually encourage you to grow your email list because they said that's something that you actually own, not like social media where you're at the mercy of the algorithms and stuff like that.
Yes.
Email list, that's yours to manage. As nobody can kind of like block you out of it, or so.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. Just grow your email list. That's the most and people
Yeah.
take the effort of actually signing up. Those are really interested audience.
Yes, they're highly engaged. Like, and the reason why I also encourage that is because that could be when, like, for you, I mean, you
Yeah,
got a loyal fan base. If you were to come up with a good quality cookbook, because I know you have some free content, you have
yeah,
some printables and
yeah.
ebooks, but I feel like if you were to sell a cookbook,
Mhm.
that could be another form of monetization, or maybe it's an online cooking course and people just maybe all these years people have been consuming your free content, but maybe now they can pay it forward and be like, I want to pay Lalaine, I want to access a course online, and just pay $50, whatever it is that you want to teach in a nice course. You have so much content, and then even if you sell it to 100, 1,000 people, that's good amount of revenue right
Like
there.
what we were talking about before we started the show. I think our worst enemy is ourselves sometimes. Like we're the self doubt.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned to you before, I was approached before for a cookbook, but it involved a lot of, I had to sign a contract, I had to do this, do that. So I was like, oh, maybe I can do this, I can't. So I said, I kind of like refuse, didn't proceed with it. I didn't accept the offer or something because I was thinking I might not be able to do it on time, or my content might not be good, and then I'll get sued and stuff like that. So I kind of like that. And then like the cooking class that you mentioned, I'm thinking, am I good enough for people to pay? So like I
Yes.
explained to you, it's like your self doubt kind of like affects how so
Yeah.
my worst enemy, I guess. I'm thinking, okay, do I have anything of value to sell or something? So,
Yes.
so I think I should change that mindset and see my
Yes.
work for.
I think that's like, I think it's because I feel like you've reached a level of success, and there's multiple things you can teach people. You can teach people how to get started with
Yeah.
everything that you already built, which is content development and content creation, online presence. And then, even maybe it's an audience of Filipino American business folks who want to learn from you how you grew your presence online. Like, just there's all what you definitely provide a lot of value. You've had over a decade of experience, and so people are going to pay you for that. So you could even teach just like how to build your online blog, and that alone. but even then, your cooking classes, everyone loves your content, so they keep coming. But I think it would be great if there's a way where it's like packaged, so people, and through your email, because the return on investment through email is really successful. And so I know it's like, oh, it's another
Well,
time involved to build that, but you've already done the hardest part.
yes.
You've done the hardest part. A lot of people work backwards and like they're trying to sell. They have to build their social media following. They have to build, an audience on their website. They don't have any of that, and they're trying to sell one product.
They have the product and now they have to figure out how to sell it. So,
Exactly.
okay, so yeah,
But you have your audience. You've done the hardest part. So now it's about selling something to your audience that want to support you even more,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
I'll buy it. Once yours is out, I'll pay for it.
Actually, when I received your email about trying to do this, I said I normally would refuse because, as I've said, I'm not used to doing this type of thing. I get nervous and antsy, and I'm always afraid that I'll say something wrong and stuff and embarrass myself. But now I'm very happy that I did. You've given me a lot of food for thought that I could work on. So a lot of ideas, to take my business to the next level. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Your
Yeah.
right now.
No, and thank you for taking the time. I mean, this is awesome. So for anyone who doesn't know, to connect and follow Kawaling Pinoy, Lalaine, she's
Mhm.
always building content. She's got her website. She has a huge following. You want to follow her story because she's still unfolding her journey. And
Yes.
I know you're going to have another level of success. It's just like we hit certain milestones. We're like, are we ready to grow? Are we ready to go further?
Yes.
And I get inspired by other entrepreneurs as well, and including yourself. I'm really inspired by Filipino entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Um, taking these steps to overcome the imposter syndrome that we suffer probably
Mhm.
24/7,
Mhm.
and doubting ourselves. But from the outside, it's amazing with what you're doing already.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much, Lalaine. If is there anything else you'd like to close out with, and then we can, end the show. I would hate to end it, but has been great.
No, thank you so much. And like you said, I have a few people who watch me on Facebook. I posted, and they came to watch me here. So I really appreciate that. That's kind of like a blessing.
Yeah,
Um, I just did a live yesterday, and they watch, and now they're here to see me. So that's a gift that I appreciate. Thank you so much. And I'm very glad to meet you, Julia. So maybe we can connect more on email and stuff. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Let's keep in touch. And if there's anyone that you would love to recommend that you have another
I have
business.
a couple of people who actually would, you know, have inspiring stories also to share. So I'll
Oh
connect.
yeah, there's so many that needs to have the same kind of platform, and even tell their story like the way you did. I invite anybody who caught this interview. I would love to have you on as well, because I am looking for more guests. I have several guests lined up even through November, but if it gets to the point where I need to be doing this more often every week, I would love to. And so thanks again, Lalaine. I'm
So
gonna go ahead.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so much. I will go ahead and see you on the other side.
me. Okay, bye bye.